connect. Talking the talk with Kate and Jim, and walking the walk, just listening. The perfect match, Kate and Jim, getting at it. Kate and Jim, I'm gonna smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter, mixing transfer news is what you're after. The perfect match, Kate and Jim, getting at it. Kate and Jim are gonna smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter, mixing transfer news is what you're after. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. Keeps a positive spin. What Kate's doing, the Mickey hazard name dropping. Gets you out of the blue like let me stop rubbing. Or she's flip-flopping. Hell, this place is popping. The perfect match, Kate and Jim, getting at it. Kate and Jim, I'm gonna smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter, mixing transfer news is what you're after. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. Jimbo always keeps a positive spin. What Kate's doing, the Mickey has her name dropping. Gets you out of the blue like let me stop rubbing. Or she's flip-flopping. Hell, this place is popping. Perfect match, Kate and Jim, getting at it. Kate and Jim are gonna smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter, mixing transfer news is what you're after. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. Jim always keeps a positive spin. What Kate's doing, the Mickey has her name dropping. Gets you out of the blue like let you stop rubbing. Or she's flip-flopping. Hell, this place is popping. Always keeps a positive spin. What Kate's doing, the Mickey has her name dropping. Gets you out of the blue like let me stop rubbing. Or she's flip-flopping. Hell, this place is popping.
Champions of Europe, you'll never sing that. It's the day after the night before. Wow, still feeling like it's all been a bit of a dream. Still absolutely buzzing. Hope everyone enjoyed the final last night. We will be delving into the depths of the final on today's show. But I'm joined as always by Jimbo. Jimbo, how you doing?
Well, Bonnie's just come in. She wanted to just say we're champions. She's gone now. Here she comes back. I'm tired. I didn't sleep till about 2 and I was up at 5. So I actually went to sleep watching videos of people on YouTube that was at the game and there. And I woke up at 5 and my dog didn't even want to get up. And I thought, did we actually win the European Cup or was I dreaming? And I had to get up and check my phone and I saw we won. And I just got up and watched the match again. At 5 o'clock in the morning, I made a cup of tea and watched the whole match again.
It was an unbelievable night. I tried to stay awake to watch all the videos, but I was absolutely shattered. However, I will be basking in it today with I'm going on Judge Mo's at 3. I'm going on the football terrace at 6. I'm enjoying every second of this win. The banter has to stop now. When was the last time Spurs won a trophy? It was yesterday, actually. But let's see, we've got in the chat, we've got Graham's here saying, all right, my lovelies, champions, champions, ole, ole, ole. Big up Wayne Bonner says, afternoon everyone, how are we all doing? Great night last night, hugs everywhere, and I don't usually hug strangers, but it was one of those occasions. Come on, you Spurs. Of course it is, you hug anyone. Bobby says, good afternoon, good morning, Kate, Jim, and everyone in the chat. Champions of Europe. Can we just enjoy this for a minute and stop calling each other out? Not seen any of that. Any calling out of any description.
Who's been calling out, Bob? Don't even bother telling us. Who cares?
We won't be doing that today in here. It's all about we're all one fan base. We should be celebrating together. And yeah, come on, you friggin' Spurs. AJ says, "What a day! What a day! What a night! What a time to be alive." Unlike Arsenal, we don't need Viagra to get past the semi. Says Wayne Bonner. Big up Daniel 90. Yes, I was just going to say you need to change your name, but you've done it already. Europa League champions. Joey Barton says, fucking hell, I'm battered. 2 hours sleep, back-to-back meetings all morning. I want to die. Joey, you said Ange couldn't do it. Joey, you said Ange didn't have it in him. Joey, you said he didn't have the kahunas. What's she saying now? Joey. I did not go to sleep till 6 a.m., says Daniel. Look, I have put a poll in the chat. It's not to be divisive. It's not to cause trouble. It's purely, I'm just interested to see how people are feeling today after the win with Ange. With, we've watched every interview that he's done. We've seen him getting on the coach today. We saw him with his family last night. How are people feeling about Ange Postecoglou? Do you want him to be given time? Do you want him gone? Has it changed how you feel? Please do vote in the poll. I'll be interested to see. But Jim, you still buzzing?
Well, look, you better put the flip-flop up and flip-flop, mate.
Hang on. Let's just wait a second. Wait a second. We've got a bit of breaking news. Hang on a minute. I've got to find it because I'm totally unorganised. Jim, why are you flip-flopping? What's happening?
Well, I've got to go to Bobby's cousin's shop and buy some flip-flops. There's no flip-flopping about Ange. I'm sorry. I was all for Ange to be changed, but I've been watching lots of videos. I've been listening to Ange. He made a lot of sense with some of the things he said. He said that if we finished third this season, it would have been nice we got in the Champions League, but what would it really have meant? He said what this club needed was a trophy to get the monkey off their back. Now they've got a trophy, we can move forward and take that as a foothold. So I think to myself, it would be an absolute travesty for this man. He's won us the European Cup, which we haven't won for 41 years. He's won us a trophy, which we haven't won for 17 years. So he's killed two birds with one stone, right? He said he would do it this season, and he's done it. And I just think it'd be a travesty not to give him next season and see how we go with him next season. We've obviously got some money to spend now, because they said there was 140 odd million in the kitty, plus there's 100 million from this now getting into the Champions League. With the Champions League money and winning the tournament, I think it works out just under 100 million. So I think we should go into next season with Ange. I mean, he's done something that managers like Mourinho, all right, he was sacked a week before the final, so we won't know. But Conte whinging and whining about the club, about leaving, about this, about that. Managers before them, how many managers we had in the last 17 years? And he's come here in his second year. He's won us a trophy. And not just a trophy, not talking the Carabao Cup, we're talking, for me, one of the most prestige trophies you can win in Europe. So I just think it would be a travesty to sack this man and not let him take us into next season and see what we can do. And I am flip-flopping because last week I wasn't for this, but I can't express. I mean, I can express to you because you all are feeling it. What I feel winning this trophy, I just feel like there's a massive, massive weight lifted off my shoulders as a Spurs fan. I cried yesterday. Last night, I watched this match again at 5 o'clock this morning, and then I didn't even realise it, but I was bawling my eyes out at the end of the match. That's what this game does to you, right? And I just think this man has given us so much pleasure, us winning this trophy. He has earned the right to take us into next season. So I'm flip-flopping. And I know I'm going to get some stick off some people, but I don't really care.
I must admit, I remember saying at the start of the season, first of all, big up to Shemtan, James Flower, Archer, Three for All, and someone else come in, Sahara, was it? Chang and Sahara all come in. Big up to all of yous who've just joined us. Please smash a like on the video. And we're 25 away from 2,000. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. It was I said at the start of the season, I'd take 17 for the trophy. And then as the season went on, I went, no, that's not good enough. I said, Andrew's got to go. Whether we win, we lose. He's got to go. But the emotion that I felt last night and the emotion that I saw from that man last night, I'm not sure where I sit on it. I've got to be honest. I don't know where I sit on it, because I think, was this his plan all along? Did he literally sacrifice the league because he wanted to win that Europa League? I think I need time to digest it all before I make a decision on what I feel about Ange Postecoglou. But I understand both sides. I can totally see why people want him out, and I can totally see, Jim, why you would want him to stay.
Well, I just think, Kate, sorry to interrupt you. I think he's earned the right. Right, he's done something that in 17 years. Right, and you've got to remember, 17 years ago, we won the Carabao Cup, right, which is a nice trophy to win. I'm not putting it down, but it's not in the league of this trophy, nowhere near. Right, and I just think to myself, the man, even though he's took us to 17th, and his football in the league has not been great. Right, he has had periods in the league where we've been really thin on the ground with players. Right, and I'm not making excuses for his league form. But I think he's earned the right to take us into next season, winning this trophy. You know, what I felt, what I'm getting emotional now. What I felt when we won that trophy yesterday, right? To see, all right, Brian, to see Sonny, right, who's been here over 10 years, who's stuck with us. People like him lift that trophy. These young kids that have come in and fought their backsides off to win this trophy. You know, kids. I just think he's earned the right to take us into next season. And look, we can take him into next season. There's nothing saying they're going to bring another manager in and he's going to rocket us up the table, right, and win a trophy. So this guy has proved he can do it. Give him the chance next season to do it again. That's what I say.
Yeah, I mean,
I won't move off that. That's my stance.
James Flower says, I agree. I wanted Ange out, but he's just given me the best moment of my Spurs life. That's it. When emotion comes into it and you actually witness it, you're like, actually, and I don't think it's about flip-flopping. I've said it all season. I think it's about when evidence is provided in front of you. If you change your mind, there's nothing wrong with that, because we all change our mind. We might go, oh, we're going to go to the beach today, and then it rains, and so we don't go. But that's not flip-flopping. That's changing your mind based on the evidence that it's raining.
Well, it's to me, Kate. It's to me. It's like, let's say Bobby K buys me a lottery ticket, right, and I win £10 million, and I don't give him anything out of it. That's what it's like to me, right? He's just made me a multi-millionaire, and I go to him, I ain't giving you no money. This guy's just made us so happy, us, this fan base. He's took a monkey off our back. People can't say you don't win trophies now. They can't say all the banter we get. You know, he's got rid of all that. I think he's earned the right to take us into next season.
Boy from the Lane says, I told you this was our time. History has to be made at some point. I'm beyond happy for this fan base. Seeing Sonny lift that trophy whilst I hugged my dad. This is what we do it for. Come on, you Spurs. It's so true. It is what we do it for. We still have a Super Cup to play for, says Chang. I'm not that I'm confident nor arrogant, but they're beatable. But watching our resilience and tenacity this morning, I won't write us off yet. Anything can happen in a one-off game. Dermatron says, headline in the Sun, Tottenham 1, United 0, Spurs win Europa League as they end 17-year trophy drought in worst final ever. I enjoyed it as a final. As a neutral, I thought it was a decent game. I really did think it was a decent game. But I know most people have said it's horrendous, so I don't know why I enjoyed it, but I did. And the stats that show that Tottenham only had 27% possession, I didn't watch it and think that. I thought we were actually the better team. But
the thing is, Kate, when you get to a final, right, it's not about pretty football, right? It's nothing about anything except winning. That's all it is. It doesn't matter how you win, it's winning to pick up that trophy. You know, if we would have played fantastic football and won 4-0, right, we would have still only picked up the same trophy.
Yeah.
We won 1-0 with a real dogged fight, and I thought they were resilient, throwing themselves in front of the ball. Look, how exciting was it, Van der Ven saving it off the line? It was so exciting, you know, and I just think it doesn't matter. They can say whatever they like. We've got that trophy. We are champions of Europe.
Exactly.
And Arsenal, you can't say that.
Daniel says, Kate, it makes me have faith in football again. The nicest guy in football finally got his day. I'm so happy for Sonny. Yeah, I think anyone that it doesn't feel that sort of pang of happiness for Son, whoever you support, you haven't got a heart, because that guy deserves that. Can't continued after a terrible match between two terrible teams settled by a terrible goal. Postecoglou's done it again. Yeah, well, I don't listen to what the media say anymore. They're all a bunch of wankers. Take Jim to the beach. I will. Next time it rains, I'll take him. Joey says, I can't agree, Jim. United did the same with Ten Hag based on a cup win and ignoring league form.
But you know what, Joey? We ain't Man United. And this guy has got a winning mentality. You know, we've seen that all season. He hasn't wavered with his mentality. I just think he's earned the right, Joey, to take us into next season. Look, who says that they're going to bring another manager in, whoever it's going to be, right? And it's going to be fantastic. So give this guy a chance.
Yeah, I see both sides completely. And gave us the biggest gift of lifetime to remember yesterday how it feels like to win a trophy as a club. Yeah, and for so many people, it's the first time they've seen us do it. You know, I remember 2008 because I was 30. That was the year we got married, Jimbo. I remember 84. I was 6, but I do remember it because I don't know if it was that year or the year after was the first time I ever went to a game. So, but for others, this was the first time they've ever seen it. But for me, it felt like the first time, even though I've seen it because it's been so long, Jimbo. It felt like the first time all over again. And I can't explain the emotion that come out of us when that full-time whistle went. It was like something I haven't felt for years and years. Relief, pure joy, proud, all those things. Just amazing. Joey says, who gives a shit if it was a horrendous game? We won, suck my dick.
Yes. That's right, Joey.
I mean, Spurs, not United, deserve Champions League, but I'm glad you beat them. Can't stand them. Love watching them weep. Yes, don't we all? James Flower says, I'm in Rhodes with my family, and last night I was in a bar filled with United fans. Me and my boys were jumping up and down. I would never forget that moment. And that's what it's all about. That is what it's all about. Seeing Sonny walking around with Madison's little boy and kissing him and the tears in Sonny's eyes. You can't buy moments like that. John says it's not the manager, it's backing by Lever. You can't play well in the league and the cups with half a squad. They did an amazing job without Madders, Bergvall and Kulu.
You know what, Kate? Do you know what? That's what a lot of people forget that as well. We won that game yesterday, right? Look, let's not sugarcoat it. Man United ain't a great team at the minute, right? But we went in there without any of our creative midfielders. Like 3 of our best players were out, and we still beat them. And I think we played absolutely phenomenal to win that game. You know, the goal wasn't a fantastic goal, but we scored, and they never looked like scoring to me.
Yeah. Big up to you, Paul G. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on last night and celebrating with us. Inner Heights says those last 7 minutes of extra time were mental, and the scenes afterwards shows what it meant to everyone. It's about putting smiles on people's faces. That is what football's meant to be about. Do you know what I mean? It's not about sitting, screaming, shouting, moaning. You've got to you watch and you invest in a team for these moments, and they're so few and far between. You've got to enjoy every single second of them. You've got to inhale it and just enjoy it and embrace it. Because
how was the Spurs fans there? I never heard United sing. All I heard was the Spurs fans. They were phenomenal. I mean, someone said, who was it? Who did I tell you this morning, Kate? I saw on Sky Sports.
Jeff Stelling, was it?
No, on Sky Sports. It was an ex-footballer, and he was there. They were interviewing from Bilbao, and he said the atmosphere from the Tottenham fans, he said, was off the planet. It was unbelievable. He said that's all you could hear in the stadiums, Tottenham.
Yeah. Cole Simpson, big ups. It's all about the context. We showed we're capable of scoring and then go to the opposition. You think you can break us down, then go for it. Exactly. And they couldn't. Bobby says, did we really win a trophy? Did I really see my little K's first trophy ever? Did we just win in Europe? Disbelief. Yeah, lovely for your boys as well, Bobby. Expressions post with Ange and the trophies, top tier. I haven't seen it. I'm going to have to look out for that. I haven't seen that. AJ says, how poor must everyone else be when a shit team with a clueless manager wins the cup? Yeah. Were we the better side? Who cares, says George. Yeah, who does care? I think we were. I think until Garnacho come on, Man United looked absolutely clueless in front of goal. But I mean, I'm still in a cloud cooking.
Ange got his sub spot on as well. Again,
Well,
absolutely spot on.
you may have listened to me because I did call him before he done them, so maybe you could hear me.
I mean,
Big up, Jose.
Bringing Danso on at that time he did was massive because he was immense when he come on.
Jose says, afternoon, Kate and Jim and all the chat on the train, leaving commentary, homeward bound and full of joy. And I drank to my heart's content, paying the price, but this old fart is super happy. And that's what it's all about. Boy from the lane says, I thought I'd cry when we won it, but I didn't. But woke up this morning, watched all the videos of the celebrations and not afraid to say it. I cried my eyes out. I love this club. Yep, I'm not afraid to say it either. I sobbed like a baby. Ten Hag won 3 times what Ange has. Well, Ange has only been here 2 seasons. Remember that. As I said before, big up souls. If Spurs won, I'd be happy for people like Kate and Jim and Brian Daigle. Thank you very much. A lot of people said that on the terrace last night and started me off again. But it isn't easy being a Spurs fan. You get bantered year in, year out. And sometimes to just get moments like this, you can just go, do you know what? Fuck you all. We done it. And deserves his chance next season until Christmas. If it's not going well, then it's his time.
Yeah, I agree.
We know what we are. We know what we are. Champions of Europe. We know what we are. Big up, Chrysandro. Good to see you. Archer says the question is, if we keep Ange, would he play more pragmatically in the league? If he used Europa tactics, we'd get a lot more. I personally think there's some truth in the fact that he did sacrifice the league for the Europa League. He said all along that he would win something in his second season. He had massive kahunas to say it. He put his whole reputation on the line, and he done it. So, in my opinion now, the only thing he's got to prove is that he can do it in the league. And I think if he plays like he played last night, we're going to finish a lot higher. I mean, I don't know what you think, Jimbo.
I think that he's going to. I said to you, didn't I, when he first come to the club, he's going to learn as well as the players are going to learn, right? And we can make some excuses for him and the club with the injuries and stuff like that. And he has made some massive mistakes in the league, Kate. But you got to remember, this is a massive job that he's come into, right? It's a huge job taking the helm of Tottenham. And he's won us a trophy, right? So I think he's got the right to go into next season and to show us that he can change, you know. And I think he will. He doesn't want to be 17th, of course he doesn't. You know, if the board back him again, give him some more players. You know, we're going to have a few going out, and let's see what he can do. But I just think it'd be a travesty to sack him after giving us the pleasure. Well, I didn't think I would feel what I felt when we won it, right before, but it was like it was just a flood of emotion, weight lifted off my shoulders, off your shoulders, off all these people in the chat shoulders. You know, people can't banter us now. You know, Arsenal can't say shit to us because they've won an FA Cup in 6 years under Arteta, and we've won a European Cup in 2 years under Ange.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not fit to lace our boots, the bastards. Big up to JO Engravings, to Brazier, to Ilmatic, to Stuart727, GBC fan. Big up everyone coming in. If I missed you, I'm sorry. Please smash a like on the video. We only did it. Man of the match, Van der Ven, save Vicario from another howler, says Paul Pablo. Agreed, Danso is a beast. Bobby K says 2 favourite moments, that goal line clearance by the legend Van der Ven, and second favourite was watching Bruno cry like a bitch because Saab hit him up. Do you know what, Bobby? When Van der Ven made that goal line clearance, I said to Jim, I bet Bobby K's having a wank over that moment. He will be in his element. I just thought of you straight away. I mean, I can't think of another defender that I would say would do that. Not only was it incredibly amazing the way he got his body up and his leg up, but so brave because he smashed down onto his hip. He could have done some real damage. I mean, what an absolute legend. I think we were okay. He who shall not be mentioned was still negative today. Big up Smithy, Auntie Kate, Jimbo. I can hardly see. I'm mashed. We did it. Love you both. See you soon. Mwah, 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 mwah. Love you too, Smithy. Congratulations, says Matt. Thank you. Champions of Europe. You'll never sing that. Just had to get that in there. The narrative was always going to be anti-us when we won. We've been the media's whipping boys for years. Now, the only thing they have, it was a bad game. Yeah, we don't care.
100%, Joey. Joey, 100%. But you know what, Joey? It's a final and you just got to get over the line and pick up that trophy. And we done that. And I don't give a shit what anyone says. We won the Europa League. Massive, massive, massive trophy.
I said to Jim at the start, I'll take a really sloppy 1-0 or an own goal 1-0 and us park the bus for the rest of the time. But we didn't. We tried to get them on the counter. I mean, Solanke messed up. Could have easily got a second goal. But look, like you say, it doesn't matter if you play like absolute dog shit. You just got to get over that line.
You did read the last one out, Kate. That was from an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, I know. Big up, Kate and Jim. Congrats to Tottenham. Thank you, Arsenal. Just as spicy Spurs. Destiny says, any Spurs fans finding negatives from this win are miserable, sad people. Sorry needs to be said. Enjoy the moment. Big up, Leo. Hope you're feeling better from the flu, homie. Inner Hype says the pitch invasion at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Jamie O'Hara on TalkSport. So many funny clips. Yeah, Jamie O'Hara taking his shirt off and jumping around, and Jason Cundy going, "Mind me knee, mind me knee." Joey says we've taken all their headlines, Spursy, Bottler, Trophy Drought, and all the rest away with the media. They hate it. Exactly that. Exactly, Stuart. They definitely won't. Matt says, I'm going to be honest, I'm not as pissed off as I thought I'd be. I think this might be due to the season as a whole in general. Just want this season to end. But massive congrats to Tottenham, the best team won. Thank you. Very magnanimous.
And Matt, the other thing is, right, you might not like Tottenham because you're an Arsenal fan, which is fair enough. It's football rivalry, right? But you must hate Man United as much because of your rivalry with them over the years. So
yeah.
He was in like a catch-22 there, wasn't he?
GBC says, I like how this is the first season in years we've focused on the cups instead of the league, and wow, how it paid off. That was my point with Ange. Maybe he did literally focus on the Europa League, and that is why the league form was so bad. And if that's the case, then he's done exactly what he was asked to do. He's done exactly what he said he would do. He's executed his prerequisites perfectly. So is it fair to sack him? You know, these are all really good questions. No Ange Ball, but plan B Ange Wall. I said it'd be plan B. I said we'd be pragmatic. Afternoon, Kate, Jimbo and Chatter. Big up Drew La La. Big up Peter Kagayas. Good to see you. John says, well said, Jimbo. Chrysandro says, who's coming out with me for the European Super Cup in 3 months? 2 European trophies for a side that will always be shit. Surely not. Love it. Found myself watching Tottenham clips all day. It's so surreal. Me too. I've been sending them to AJ so he can verify that I've been watching YouTube, TikTok, everything. All the funny clips. Been brilliant. Brad says, what I've seen from comments from fans is they had a feeling this was Spurs' time. It's almost a Netflix movie script. The injuries, the bad tactics, the upset fans, but on the last day he wins. Not only that, the world-class managers, the Mourinhos, the Contes, then the likes of the Pochettinos, the Redknaps, you know, they've all gone. Harry Kane leaving and getting his first trophy in the Bundesliga. You know, there's so many things that pointed to it being our time. The year of the bird. Another one. Yeah, we've now got the shortest football trophy drought in football. Did you see how sort of Slavic got up? Well. I actually messaged a friend of ours who is Man United and give him a little bit of stick. And he put, it was a terrible game and a terrible goal. I wouldn't even celebrate that. And I put, lots of salt, salty bastard. How can you not celebrate your team winning? Get over it, Pezza. I wank over that moment. I clipped it and I've had several weeks already. Now we can all make fun of Villa and Arsenal for not winning crap. Yeah, we can.
I won't make fun of Villa because my best mate supports Villa.
You know, we could win 3 trophies, 1 in the bag, the Super Cup, and also the Club World Cup. Wow. Kate thinking about Bobby K. Yeah, I was. It's the first thing I said. Hi, Kate and Jimbo. Congrats to Spurs. They played so well, defending their hearts out. Coys, big up Raymond. Thank you very much. They certainly did. I'm very proud. Tottenham, I love you. Yes. we all love the cockerel.
Do you know what, Kate? What have I always said to you about football, right? That you can be so down, and then a couple of weeks later, you're on such a high, and that's what football is. A few weeks ago, we got to play Bilbo Baggins in there for Frozen Land with Father Christmas sitting round the corner, and we were 17th in the league, losing game after game. 2 weeks later, everyone's on a high, and we're European champions. That's
Exactly that.
football. It's the best sport in the world.
Matt said it was a kind of a win-win for me, Jimbo. If Tottenham lost, I'd be laughing and trolling, but Man U lost, which means we get free run at Jokeres, which is massive for us. Honestly, I lost my voice though. Other than that, I'm over the moon right now. Yeah, I thought my voice was going to go. I screamed so loud. William was on the phone to his girlfriend and she said, "Oh my God, is your mum all right? You better go and check she's all right." And it was like, "No, she's just watching the football. Don't worry about that." Brad says, tomorrow the Spurs open top bus celebration starts in Edmonton at 5:30. Guess what? I live in Edmonton. I shall be there. Anyone else? I'm sure there'll be plenty of Spurs fans there. We should swap in for Cunha. Swoop in. Yeah, we should. Amarin's got to go. Pathetic 6 months he's had at Man United. Big up, Fiona. Come on, you Spurs. Bless you. Moondog coming in with the super chat saying, a rocking good morning, Kate and Jimbo. I'm a flip-flopper. Ange needs another season. He has earned that right to... So, Moondog is flip-flopping like you, Jimbo, and is now Ange in.
Yeah, well, I think Moondog's got a good head on his shoulders, that we should give this man the start of next year to see where he can take us. You know, because I'm just thinking to myself, look, whoever they bring in wants to say that he's going to start off like a steam train. You know, it's going to be a new project again because he probably won't want some of these players. It's going to start it over again. This guy's got us a trophy, got us into the Champions League. Let him take it on. You know, he knows where we are as a club. He knows where the players are as players. So why rock the boat? I'm with Moondog. Me and Moondog.
Big up, Moondog. Thank you, as always, for the super chat. So generous to the channel. You really are. Big up, Martin says, afternoon, you two. The Arsenal meltdown has been great to see. Is there anything better? Man United have released a statement to say they will be back in Amarin, but key men disillusioned and 7 key players could leave. Interesting. I agree with Jimbo. I'm not hating on Villa. That's a proper club, just like our club as well.
Yeah.
Champions of Europe, says Corey Boy. Exactly. Yeah, I saw the Lucas Moura video of him in his Spurs shirt cheering. Actually warmed my heart. So good to see. It's good to see some Gooners in here while others are noticeably absent. And talking of whom, Angus says, afternoon, all fair play to you. Shocked you did it. Congrats. I hold my hands up. I was completely wrong. Yes, you were.
Can I take my hat off to you for being honest?
I had the police knock at my door as I was celebrating so loudly. The neighbours thought I'd hurt myself. Kate Jimbo, as an Arsenal fan, I'm happy for Son. He deserved this. I am going to bash Kane because he wasn't loyal. Son stayed loyal with everything that's happened. Loyalty is and means everything. Yep.
But look, let's not bash Kane. I'll tell you why. Because I don't think it was fully his fault that he went. I think that there was other things behind it as well, with such things as contracts and that, what he wanted and what the club wanted to give him. So, look, he was a great servant for us and he gave us some fantastic moments. So I'm definitely not going to bash on Kane.
I know. I so wish I was going to the Brighton game when they parade the trophy. It's going to be absolutely epic. Corby says he's there tomorrow. Friday night at 5:30. Strange time, but there you go. Give him one more season, says Jane Ketley. I'm still Ange out, but it's nice to win something, says Corey Boy. Amarim and Arteta should be sacked. Specialists in failure. No, I say keep them there forever. That's what I say. Big up Simon says Son is officially a club legend and world class. 7 Man U players leaving. Maybe we can nick some. I don't know if I want any of their players.
Who's the guy they bought on?
Garnacho.
Oh, I wouldn't mind Garnacho.
You know what? I was on the terrace the other day and I was bigging him up and everyone was laughing at me saying he's shit. Well, he didn't look shit last night. He looked the best player they had. He looked better than Bruno even.
What did I say to you before the game, Kate? I said Bruno always goes missing against us. Never plays well against us for some reason. I mean, look, they needed a goal and he was on the halfway line.
Yeah.
You know, when they were attacking. Don't get him as a player against us.
In fairness to Kane, he was on his family holidays, and I did say to Jim, if Kane's there and we lose, I'm blaming Kane for being the kiss of death. So I'm glad he weren't there. It's nice for Sonny to win something with this club. The guy's been so loyal, the nicest bloke in football. Did you see Madders crying to Son? He was saying it's all for you, Sonny. Oh, I haven't seen that. I'm going to watch it. I'll have to get some tissues. It meant so much. My daughter's partner's an actual Manc and United supporter. So my daughter said whoever wins my granddaughter's first football baby grower would be the winners. Oh,
yeah. I love that.
All the Gooner tears are in here. I'm drinking them up. Oh, and they taste divine. I've got Gooner tears mixed with United tears in here and they taste amazing. Just happy we can finally say for once we got it over the line. Yeah, now we all know the biggest bottlers in football aren't Tottenham. It's Arsenal. They can't even get to the final, let alone get it over the line. Bottle jobs. There's no such word as Spursy no more. It's Arsey. And I absolutely love the picture of Brennan Johnson and Sonny after the game in the changing room cuddling, and they put underneath "So Spursy." Brilliant.
It was nice as well. I was getting messages from friends of all different fan bases all wanted Spurs to win.
That's because they know how much it means to us, Jim. It's a huge part of our life. And this year,
all my friends that support different clubs all wanted us to win. They were all messaging me after the game. It was
this year is the first time, Tottenham have actually affected my own personal mental health. It's been that bad. And to get this at the end of it makes it all bloody worth it. I think so, Destiny. I think he's got the potential to be an absolute superstar. I just think he's in the wrong team, playing the wrong system. And much like Ange, Amorim is very, very stubborn and will not move from his formation. And yet he doesn't get anywhere near the stick that Ange does. It's bonkers. But question for you two, would you look to upgrade on Vic? He nearly fucked you up last night twice. I think he's just learning on the job. No, I wouldn't. I like Vicario.
No, he did make one or two mistakes. I mean, we're going to do our
player ratings in a minute.
Player ratings, yeah. But look, I like Vic. I think he's a good. You can say he made mistakes, right, which he did, and we got saved by Van der Ven. But he pulled off some. Well, that save at the end from Shaw was it probably won us the cup. It's worth a goal, that save. So
at the end of the day, Raya has made some mistakes this season.
Every keeper makes mistakes.
Martinez for Villa's made some howlers this season, but they're not all going to upgrade. You've just got to accept that people do make mistakes. And luckily for us, it didn't cost us. But big up El Dante with a super chat saying, glory, glory, Tottenham Hotspur, come on you in Spurs. Thank you very much. It's about that time of year the Gooners end up going into overdrive, telling us they're signing everyone and end up with no one. Things you love to see. Yeah, Mbappe's going, I think, again. Big up to Pepe, who is an Arsenal fan, and for the super chat says, Arsenal fan here, I wanted United to lose. Glad to see Spurs finally win something. Pepe, very much appreciated, not only for the super chat, but for the kind words as well. An old school fan, you see, that understands the rivalry between Manchester United and Arsenal.
Not only that, it's nice to see an Arsenal fans coming in. Vindaloo's the same. I mean, Angus has done it as well, and show some respect, because we show Arsenal respect when they do well. So
yeah, that's what it's all about. You've got to work both ways. You've got to try and be unbiased and give respect when it's due. And Tottenham deserved that last night, and us fans bloody well deserved it as well. It's been a long time coming, without any shadow of a doubt. There's so many chatters. Arsenal fans were saying Europa's easier with no Champions League. Yeah, that's their copium, though. Would you give Son a statue, Jimbo?
I don't know, because I don't know. He deserves to definitely go in the history books. Giving him a statue maybe is a bit too far. I
I
mean, look,
think if he'd scored the winner, it's different.
yeah, but also you got to think. I think of Kane. What he gave this club, he gave this club his heart and soul, and I don't think Kane really wanted to go. I think it was kind of pushed into a corner with the contract situation. So, and I think Kane has given more to this club than Sonny has over the years. But Sonny has been, I'm not taking nothing away from Sonny. He's an absolute legend, same as Kane, he's a legend as well.
You've got to remember, we haven't even got a statue of Billy Nick up.
Yeah.
So you can't really put a statue of Sonny up there. But look, he will be remembered as an absolute Tottenham legend. And when they asked him that, and he went, "I am a legend for me, but only for today," or something. Bless him, so humble. Do you think Levy will finally change and spend money? No.
Look, I think yes, and I'll tell you why I think yes, right? Because if you saw Levy yesterday, he was smiling from ear to ear, right? And people are going to say, yeah, because of the pound notes or whatever. But it's a different feeling when you win something like that, you know? And maybe he's going to think, I want more of this for this club. I'm going to say, yes, he will. I want to say he's going to back Ange. And if he sacks Ange, which I hope he doesn't, that the next manager coming in, I think it's a travesty if he sacks Ange. I'll be really disappointed in this club if they sack him. I will.
Big up, Marios. I am going to try and find see if Mickey Hazard's got a picture of us lifting the trophy, because obviously he gets all the pictures for us. And if so, that will be behind me. As much as I love Big Vic being behind me, I feel in safe hands when Vic's there. I think we need one of us lifting that trophy. And if he hasn't got one, I'm just going to get one and blow it up and have it on there. Maybe history tells us Levy doesn't spend more money when we qualify for Champions League, but I hope that changes. Maybe this win will finally melt Levy's cold, dead heart. Exactly that. But Jimbo, while we've got a break in the chat, we might as well do our player ratings, because otherwise, we'll run out of time. And I think it's important we do them. Vicario, I'm going to start.
He's not. Is he? What's it called? Streaming today?
No, but I've got another show at 3:00, so
okay.
I've got to do dinner in between and stuff. So, Vicario, I'm going to give him a 7.5, because he did cause a little bit of panic at times. And that thank the Lord for Van der Ven saved his embarrassment. But then again, he did make that save at the end. So, in fact, I'm going to give him a 7 for Vic.
Oh, I think you're so tight with your points. I'm going to give him a 9. I'm going to take a point away for his fumble, right? And I'm going to. He made two mistakes I saw, so I can take 2 points away. And that save at the end, I'm going to add a point back, so I'm going to give him a 9.
Trula says an 8. Stuart says a 7. Vicario an 8, says Bobby K. That he didn't make me feel particularly comfortable. So Pedro Porro, Jimbo, what are you giving Pedro Porro?
I don't think he did anything wrong, did he? I thought he was really good. I'm going to give Pedro a 9 as well.
Pedro Porro 9. I'm going to give him an 8.5. I think his crosses were excellent at times, and he posted a picture, if you haven't seen it, on his Instagram of him saying, "I can't defend," and a laughing face. I thought Porro was absolutely solid, so I'm going to give him at 8.5. Porro a 9 to Stuart.
8.343.
Yeah. Then we've got Romero, Jimbo. What are you giving him?
I'm going to give Romero. I'm going to give him a 10. I thought he was absolutely solid as a rock. His shithousery was brilliant, and he made that. What's his name? I can't
Maguire.
Maguire looked like a real proper mug. He gets.
So is he your man of the match?
Oh, yeah. I could give it to a few people. We'll do that after. But he gets a solid. He gets a solid 10 from me. Romero 12. Good, Joey.
I'm going to give him a 10 as well. I thought it's the best match I've seen from Romero because not only did he do all his defensive duties absolutely spot on, he was so brilliant at winding up Maguire, literally had him pulling his hair out.
And what did I say on the morning show? I said Romero's going to be absolutely immense in this game. He's going to, it's for me, he was going to be the difference. I said to you, didn't I? If he turns up, it's going to be massive.
It was a proper captain's performance. I think any danger, he was on it straight away. For me, he gets a solid 10. As I say, it's probably the best game I've seen Romero play. And at the end of it, the joy and the relief, and you know, he was the ultimate captain yesterday for us. And so yeah, Romero gets a 10. Big up Joseph, good to see you. Then you've got Mickey van der Ven, Jimbo.
I'm going to give Mickey a 10 as well. I thought he was immense. Him and Romero, when them two are on it, is there any two better in the league? I don't know.
Saliba and Gabriel.
And that save off the line, that's worth another goal. You know, to me, gets a 10, solid 10.
I'm giving Van der Ven
10.
A 9.
Oh, Katie, you're so disappointing.
I tell you why. Before he made the goal line clearance, I said to you, I'm a bit disappointed in Mickey this game. And you went, yeah, he hasn't done a lot.
Well, he didn't need to do a lot, did he?
No, but that's not what you said last night. You went, he hasn't done a lot, right?
Yeah,
Let me finish. So I said, yeah, maybe you bring Danso on, right? So I would have given Mickey an 8, but because of that goal line clearance, which is probably the greatest goal line clearance you'll ever see ever. In fact, I'm going to give him a 9.5 for that goal line clearance.
But you got what you got to think of, Kate. Right? He didn't do a lot. He didn't really need to do a lot, right? But he wasn't doing any of his runs like he normally does, right? But when the going got tough and they started throwing the kitchen sink at us, he was phenomenal. He was fantastic. Like I would say, most of the headers that come out the box was him and Danso. So
he gets a 9.5 from me, Mickey van der Ven, just because that goal line clearance, like I say, is probably the best goal line clearance you'll ever see in your lifetime. It was phenomenal. It's so athletic, and his interview afterwards, and yeah, so he gets a 9.5 from me. Then we got Destiny. Now this is a funny one because I thought he was brilliant, and then Destiny 5 wrote on my video from last night that she thought he was terrible. So I'm interested to see, Jimbo, what Bobby K. 9.5. What the actual fudge? He's Mickey van der Ven. 9.5 disgraced. FUK. I'm interested to see what you say. I mean, they're both saying 7. What you thought about Destiny last night?
I thought Destiny was good, right? I thought he normally does more runs than he, and it helps up the wing a bit. But I'm going to give Destiny an 8.5. I think 7's too low. I'm going to give him an 8.5. I thought he was good.
But see, now this is what's funny. Destiny's put first half he was dog shit, and Stuart's put Udogie was my man of the match 10. Now this is what I mean about people not like seeing things funny. What are you giving him, an 8.5?
8.5.
I'm going to give him an 8.5 as well. I thought he was excellent, particularly in the second half.
Yeah, you're right. Daniel's right. He improved in the second half.
Yeah, I thought he was brilliant. He won so many headers. He won the ball back so many times. He really worked his socks off. He's only a young lad still. And yeah, he gets what did I say, an 8.5?
Yeah.
Yeah, an 8.5 on me. But it is funny how people see things differently.
Do you know what, Kate? I'll tell you what I did notice with that game yesterday, right? I noticed that our players, right, were in their faces more than I've seen all season. They were in their faces and they were really wanted it. You could see they took no shit off of any of them. And I haven't seen that in a lot of games this season. And to see it in the final was fantastic.
Yeah. But I did it. I went, Jim, you'll never guess what? Destiny 5 said that the doggy was shit. But yeah, it's just how you see things. But then we've got Big Bad Biss, Jimbo. Big Bad Biss.
Look, I'm going to give Biss a 10. I thought he was phenomenal. He breaks up there. He breaks up the play. He broke up the play so many times. He was he was phenomenal. Honestly, fighting for every ball. The last few games in the Europa Cup, I think he's been one of our best players, and he's got to get a 10 from me. I thought he was great. Yeah, man of the match. That's what I'm saying. There's a few of them that could have been, and he's in there for me.
I'm giving him a 9 because I thought he didn't really do anything wrong, and I thought, in fact, 9.5. I'm giving him.
He's done a lot right, Kate. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I'm going to put him as a 9.5 because he grafted his nuts off. He's a different animal in European football. He works so much harder than he does in the league. But again, is this intentional? Is this what Ange wanted him to do? I don't know. But yeah, he gets a 9.5 from me. And yeah, if he plays in his position, he performs. And he did that yesterday. He was magnificent. And then we've got Bentancur, Jimbo, another midfielder. What do you make of him?
I thought he was fantastic as well. I thought that he, Ange was right what he said in his press conference. If I've got my back four, and I've got Bentancur and bits in front of him, it's as solid as a rock. So I'm going to give Bentancur. I'm going to give him a 10K. I thought he was solid as a rock as well.
I'm giving him at 9.5. So I'm giving him the same as Basuma because I thought he was calm. The thing is with Bentancur, you don't always notice what he does because he literally goes about his business and just does it brilliantly. Yeah, so I'm going to give Bentancur and Biss both 9.5 because I thought they were both excellent. And there was a lot of questions over the midfield as well, but I thought they were brilliant. And then, of course, to complete the midfield, we got Papa Matasar.
Yeah, I thought he was good as well. He's another one who went about his business. Very unselfish he was, with the ball. I'm going to give him a 9. I don't think he was quite on par with Benny and Biss, but I thought he was really, really good yesterday. It was one of his better games for us this season. So I'm going to give him a 9.
I'm a United fan, feel devastated. Sorry, GK. I did say we need it more than you. 10, 9, 8. I'm going to give him a 9. I thought he was... he did a few good crosses in. He wasn't unselfish. He did his work defensively. Did not stop running. He was the Papa Mate Sarr of last season. We saw the real good side of Sarr last night. So I'm going to give him a 9. Then we've got BJ, Jimbo, Mr. Brennan Johnson.
Yeah. Another one, I'm going to give him a 10. I thought he played really well yesterday. He was defending as well, and he got the goal. He gets into these positions to get the goals. There's no one else on our team that gets in them positions to score the goals, and I just thought he was really, really, really good yesterday. I'm going to give him a 10.
I'm going to give Johnson a 9. I thought he did well to get into that position, like you say. He scored the goal or helped score the goal. Did all right defensively as well. I just think he still needs to be a bit stronger. He still looks quite weak at times.
He scored the goal and won us the European Cup, Kate.
I know.
So he gets a 10.
Well, that's your choice. I'm going for a 9 because I think as well he gave away quite a few fouls as well. But he gets a 9 from me. But a lot of people giving him 10s like you, Jimbo. So then we've got Solanke, Jimbo.
Look, I saw a lot of people moaning about him. I'm going to give Solanke an 8. He works his socks off. He should have really put us 2-0 up. The pass wasn't fantastic to him, was it? It was just a little bit heavy. But I'm going to give Solanke an 8. I'm not going to give him less than an
8. Jarula says she's giving him a 5, and that's being generous. 8, 5. Definitely posted in just by Solanke 8.5. I'm going to give Solanke a 7. he made that mess up when he could have scored the second goal, which literally I was screaming at the telly. But then he done a couple of things after that, winning the ball back, getting the ball upfield. And I said, well, he's kind of redeemed himself a bit. He'd done a couple of really good little tricks to get the ball back. So I'm going to give him a 7. I'm not going to be any harsher on him than that, but it definitely won't be remembered as one of his better games for sure. He can do so much better than that. Solanke 6, 7s, 8.5. And then we've got Big Bad Richarlison, the pigeon, Jimbo.
Well, look, I'm going to be a bit controversial here, and I'm probably going to get a lot of people say that I'm off my trolley, but I'm going to give him a 10. And I'll tell you why I'm going to give him a 10. I'm going to give him a 10 because I thought the first half he was absolutely fantastic, and and he kind of, I think he kind of ran out of puff a bit the second half. The beginning of the second half, he wasn't really good, but I'm going to give him 10 for a first half performance because I thought he was absolutely immense first half.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a 9. Maybe 9.5. 9.5 actually, because in that first half he worked harder than I've ever seen.
And you know what, Kate? His defending was phenomenal.
I was just going to say that his defensive work was incredible, and he was putting in some brilliant crosses into the box as well. He literally was everywhere. I'm not his biggest fan. Everyone knows how I feel about Richarlison, but he worked his bollocks off. So I'm going to give him a 9.5. I thought he was clever. He won so many fouls as well. He's so clever at getting his body in positions where they have to foul him. Best performance from Richarlison that I've seen since he came to us. And I'm going for a 9.5 there. Richie 8.5. Richie gave it his all. He did. It was like watching him play for Brazil. It was magnificent. I'm going to do a couple of the subs, Jimbo. We had Danso come on. He came on for Johnson, 78th minute. How do you think Danso done when he came on?
I thought he done brilliant, Kate. I thought he really made the difference when he come on in that defence, helping them out. It's nice to have a player like him that we can bring on. I absolutely love Danso. I think he's one of our best buys for a long time. He's just a big, solid unit, and he's brave. And he gets up the pitch as well. So I can't give him a 10 because he was only on for like 20 minutes. So I'll give him a 9, a solid 9 as well.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. He's a proper old school defender. He could have scored, he tried his best to get that goal in. But he just, when he comes on, I kind of go, even though we've got Romero and Van de Ven, he brings that calming, old school defender type vibes. And I think if
he doesn't get flustered, does he?
No, and I think if Romero goes, we've got a perfect guy to step in. I think he's one of the best signings we've made in a long time. So he gets a solid 9 from me. I'd give him my solid. Yeah, I'm sure you would, Joey. I think he's a popular fan's favourite as well. So nice solid 9 from me. And then we've got our captain, fantastic, who obviously wasn't our captain, but the guy that's been loyal to this club for his whole career, really. Sonny, how do you think he did when he came on?
Well, I'm going to give Sonny a sentimental 10. That's what I'm going to give him. I don't think he earned a 10, but I'm going to give him a sentimental 10 for being so loyal to this club. And he's took a lot of stick this year, and he's come on and he's lifted the European Cup, which he deserved. So I'm going to give him a sentimental 10.
I'm going to give him, as a human being, a 15, but as a coming off the bench, I'm going to give him a 7 because I don't think he did all that much, to be fair. But he didn't need to. But as a human, he gets a 50,000 million because he's just the most wonderful man. I just adore him, and I think we should be so proud as a club to have someone like Sonny. He gets so much stick, but he gives it his all every game, and he loves this club. And as Joey says, take out the emotion. It's a 7. Put in the emotion. He gets a 453,423, and that is exactly how I feel. Exactly how I feel. Jim, where you want Levy to invest, whether in creativity, gameplay, in mid or dynamic fullback, centre back, or dynamic wing or top striker?
Well, I think it's really important. We know who's going first. I think I think the defence is quite solid if Romero's staying. If Romero's not staying, maybe another defender. But we got Dragusin as well. I like Dragusin. It's hard, isn't it? Because we don't know who's staying or going. I think we need another striker. GK, definitely. It would be nice to get a top striker that's going to bang goals in. For sure.
Yeah.
Maybe another winger.
100 for Son for being the legend that he is, for being everything and so loyal. He has done it all and deserves so much to win that trophy. And then we've got to go to the manager, Big Ange, Jimbo. We've got what do you think he deserves?
I'll give Ange 100. I'm going to add another 0 on. I thought his tactics were spot on. His subs were spot on. He was spot on that he said he wins a trophy in his second season. He's got everything right in the Europa League for me, and in the final, he was head and shoulders above their manager. He was just he outfought him. He was just brilliant, and I can't say he made a mistake yesterday.
Yeah, I'm the same. I give him 100 as well. I thought he got everything spot on, from the starting lineup, the tactics, the subs, the timing of the subs. Everything he did was perfect. The way he dealt with the media afterwards, just phenomenal. And a guy with massive kahunas to sort of keep saying, I always win in my second season, and to then just go out and do it and basically drop the mic and say, I told you so. But he didn't. He handled it with pure class. He was very humble. He said he's been a winner. I've been a winner all my career. He went up in my estimations hugely yesterday. And yes, it is the Europa League Winners Channel, Marlon. Welcome to the party. Whoop, whoop. But yeah,
Marlon.
I thought Ange did everything he needed to do and more. And I thought, like I say, he dealt with the win with humility and humble. He didn't sort of say, I told you so, or he wasn't cocky. I thought he was just brilliant. Whereas on the other side, you look at Amorim, and the first thing he says is, I think everyone can see we were the best team. Have a day off, mate. You were shit. Absolutely dog shit.
Who was dog shit?
Amorim's team.
Oh.
I've got to say, Danny Kiriakou, breaking news from Bilbao, he's just texted me and says, I think they have to give Ange a chance. As much as I think things won't change unless he changes the way he plays, as we're too easy to play against, I think he deserves a chance. There we go. Even Danny Kiriakou's flip-flopping.
Look, Geordie, congrats, Spurs lad. Well, we was well pleased for you, Geordie, when you won the trophy. I was absolutely over the moon for you because you deserved it after 75-year drought. So it's good that you've come here and said that. Look, Kate, before, a lot of people wanted him gone, and I was one, and I was never nasty about it. Would never have called him a clown or anything like that. I just said I think it was a one step too far. But then you see what we had yesterday, right? And how it makes you feel. And when you think of all the managers that have been in this club that haven't won a trophy, right? And they're better teams than him. And yet he's gone and won us one of the biggest trophies in European football. I think he's earned the right. I do. I think he's earned the right to have another season here. Cheers, Raymond.
Raymond the Gooner, thank you very much. Bob Everett, he can't come in here now and go, good afternoon, trophy dodgers. He can't do it because we don't dodge trophies anymore.
I wonder what he'll come in and say.
Good afternoon, trophy winners, I should think. Good to have trophy winning partners this season. Yes, why either, lad? How did you celebrate? We basically cried a hell of a lot. We did a live stream. I went on the terrace, we did a live stream. Then we watched all the clips. And I was going to have a drink, but I couldn't. I felt so drained. And then I literally flaked out in bed because I was so mentally, physically, and emotionally exhausted. But I don't know how we're celebrating, Jimbo. We might have a little drinky poos. We might just, I don't know. We're just going to be happy.
Yeah.
Don't need to celebrate. We're just happy.
I feel drained.
Yeah.
I've already told my dog that she might not get a walk today. I will take her out, but I thought just in case I'm not up to it. But honestly, I just feel drained. The emotion and lack of sleep.
Yeah, see, I slept well last night, but the night before I had a terrible night because I was so nervous about the game. But Jimbo had a terrible night last night because he was so buzzing from the game. Big up Jimmy Hotspur. Good to see you. El Dante said, you know what I liked especially? He stood to the side to let the team take the glory on that stage. He was pulled into the centre by the players, but he takes all the criticism and gives the players all the praise.
You got to say this about Ange, right? And this is what I said to you this morning, Kate, that Conte whinging and whining about Levy and about this club's not a winning club and all that. And he was right in some of the things he said. But Ange has come in here, right, and he's took all the flack, you know, and he has got a bit arsey with reporters, which I don't blame him for doing that with reporters because they poke and poke and poke. And if you poke a bear enough, he's going to bite back, you know. And he's had a pop at some of the fans, which I don't really agree with. But, you know, emotions take over. But he's come in and he takes all the shit. He never blames anybody, right, for what's going on. It's all down to him, he says every time. And he's delivered. So you've got to take your hat off to the man.
Geordie says, don't sack him, but back him for another season with proper transfer window and expect all the injured players to come back. Yeah, look, I'm starting to think we need to give this guy a chance. I think it would be a travesty. He's given us the most wonderful night. He's given us memories that will last a lifetime. So then just say you've got to go. I think we've got to test the theory that he did sacrifice the league for the Europa League and just give him that chance. Because like Jimbo says, if it isn't working, get rid of him at Christmas time. But surely you can't sack him after that. And I don't get the impression from the interviews with Ange that he's going to be sacked. You know, he said, we're only at the start of our project. I want to develop this. And I can't help it. My sentimentality is taking over and I'm thinking we can't get rid of this guy. But Angus says, somehow Nick got my number last night and somehow I got on Sav's stream. Yeah, I know. Nick came on and told us. We've got to remember Spurs had a limited option for strong 11. So Spurs, yeah, exactly. Our bench was poor, I thought, generally. And we had 3 key players out. I was up all night watching Last Word on Spurs. James Maddison may have done his ACL. Well, thank God the end of the season's coming. Put that in your pipe, Conte. Get in, Jimbo.
Yeah. Do you know what, Destiny Boy? The thing is I think to myself, if you're going to be a leader of a company or whatever it is, right? I mean, I had my own business. I don't know how many. I had a lot of staff, Kate, didn't I? The snooker hall. But if I had something to say to one of them, I took them in the office and spoke to them, right? And I didn't do it out in public so everybody could hear. And I know it's a different thing, football, but Conte should have took his grievances to Levy, right,
Yeah.
and to the board, and not done all in public. You know, he should have held himself and done it professional, like Ange does. He doesn't put the blame on anybody. I'm sure he's had words with people in the background, but he don't put it all out there for the world to see. So I take my hat off to Ange. You know, he's took all the flack and he's took a lot of shit this season off of us, the fans, right? Not off of all fans, but off of us, the fans, and that includes me. I was never nasty about him, but I did say I think it's a step too far for him. You know, some people have called him clown, idiot, you know, get out my fucking club. He doesn't deserve that. He deserves respect for what he's done in the game. You know, if he hasn't done it at Tottenham, right, he still deserves respect for what he's done. But he's done it at Tottenham now, so he definitely deserves respect from the Tottenham fans. You know, and he's took all that shit, and yet he's still delivered. Still delivered.
I was originally Ange out, but I feel sacking him now would set a horrific example. It's like Jimbo said as well. You sack Ange and you bring in another manager. My God, have they got big boots to fill? Because you're sacking him to bring in someone who can do better, which means they've got to go and win the Champions League within 2 years, really. Realistically, that's what you're doing. They've got to up the stakes. So
it's not only that, Kate. It's not only that. You've got to think to yourself, if they bring in a new manager now, right, it's starting again. If we hadn't won that Europa League, right, and they'd have brought in a new manager, we would have gone backwards in steps. But Ange has actually took us forward in steps by winning that. You know, he's got the monkey off our back of a trophy. He's put all the Spurs fans on a high. If you like Ange or you don't like Ange, right? He's put you all on a high, all of us, and he's got us into the Champions League. So he hasn't took us backwards in 2 years. He's took us forwards.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah, and so next season, I think he deserves the chance to see where he can take us.
Yeah, I think you say to him, look, we're going to keep you on, but if by Christmas results in the league aren't improving, then we're going to have to let you go. And I think that's the fairest thing to do.
He's earned that right, in my opinion.
Yeah, and Angus says, even though you won it, it was the worst final. I don't think it was the worst final. And
You know
I don't
what,
think
Angus? It's not about, in a final, it's not about who plays the best and if you score 4 or 5 goals. It's about winning the trophy, getting over that line, right? And for Tottenham, it was huge. Huge. We haven't won a European trophy in 40 odd years, right? I remember the last one. And you know what? It seems like 4 lifetimes ago. We haven't won a trophy in 17 years. It doesn't matter, right? If it was, in your opinion, a bad game. It's about getting over the line and lifting that trophy. And we lift the trophy, right? And you haven't lifted the European trophy. So you can't say anything to us.
Big up Jared Morgan says, Angie's hungry for more with this club. This is just the first act. Yeah. I do think from the way he was talking that he's expecting to stay. And as I said, I think it'd be an absolute miscarriage of justice to sack him after him just delivering our first trophy. Not just any trophy, not a Carabao Cup, a European trophy in his second season, something we haven't had for 41 years. Big up Jacob. Jacob's here and says, I think Angie's clueless and naive for winning the Europa when we could have tried to finish in Champions League space. I respected Ange before for how happy he made my parents when he won at Celtic, but when he won with you, it's gut-wrenching for me, but fair play. Angus, you were telling us the other day that we'd never win anything under Ange. You said you know him.
Yeah, but look, people say things, we all say things, and we get things right, we get things wrong. I'm not going to hold that against him. He's going to say that, you know, because he's Arsenal player.
No, he said he's followed his career and he knows he'll never win anything. It's not good enough for the Premier League.
Well, he proved you wrong.
Yeah. I think Levy will get 1 or 2 good players because he's happy and won. It's the feel-good factor might make him get his checkbook out. Please, yeah. God. The thing is, if he doesn't, it doesn't matter which manager you bring in, they're going to fail. It's as easy as that. I hold my hands up. I didn't want him to stay, but after last night, yeah, we can all flip-flop. We're allowed. It's perfectly within our legal rights. I checked. So let's flip-flop. We can all be flip-flop wankers together. I agree. Give him till Christmas. If he adapts in the league like he did in Europe, we could do fantastic. Agreed. A manager that values trophies over 4th place. I think a good number of us wanted that in the last few seasons. Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, Kate, a lot of people said that they'd finish low down in the league, right? To win a trophy. I wasn't one of them. I said I want to finish high in the league and win a trophy. But you know what? I'll take the 17th and take the European Cup and move on to next season, right? We're in the Champions League. He won the right trophy to get us in the Champions League. He's just won this club £100 million, right?
Yeah.
By getting us there, you know. You got to respect him. I don't care. I don't care about anything else. You've got to respect him. In 2 seasons, he's took us to 5th into the Europa League. We won the Europa League. He's got us into the Champions League. He's done his job.
I mean, for me, Arsenal should be putting out all the stops to try and sign him because then they know they're going to get a trophy within 2 years. I'm just saying.
That's quite Archie. That was quite funny what Archie put there.
17 years without a trophy, it seems we needed to be 17th to win one. Only Spurs. Yeah, exactly that. Won it without our best creative players. Worst final ever. That's funny. At least we had a chance to be in a final. Bloody right. We have a fighting cockerel on our shirts, not a peacock. Get in the cock. It's got lipstick on it where I've been kissing it today. Of all the Gooners, Angus McDowell at least owns up to it when he's wrong. We've had the Gooners who've come in today have been brilliant, to be fair. My motto, put your money where your mouth is. David Clark says, Barcelona game against Inter was world-class, but Barca lost. Would you rather playing a great game and lose or playing a crap game and win? We won. Exactly that. Jacob says, I agree with them. Ange isn't good enough for the Prem. Come on, it took him 2 years to become the fourth best manager in our 143 club history. Yeah. I hear you, Jacob. I hear you. I do hear you. And I think, like I said right at the beginning of the stream, there is truth in the fact that he did prioritise the cup over the league. And now we've got to give him a chance to see what he can do in the league as well.
It's not about people gobbing off on YouTube, I was right and you was wrong, right? Because we all have our own opinions on things and we all see things different. You've seen how many people have said your doggy was man of the match, and you've got other people saying he wasn't great. The thing is, it's just being humble, you know, when the time comes. And if you're wrong,
saying, yeah, I was wrong. Exactly.
I was wrong. Yeah. And I'll be the first one to say I didn't think he was right for us, but I'm flip-flopping and I don't give a shit what anybody thinks about that. I think he's earned the right to take us into next season.
Yeah. It doesn't matter how you win as long as you win until it's Spurs. Exactly that. Goalposts moved. We're going to win on Sunday and we'll finish 14th. Wolves, West Ham and United will lose. Yeah, and then all of a sudden it doesn't sound quite as bad, does it? Dave El Sucio says, Hola, Kate. Hola, Jim. Buenos dias. I don't know what that means, but hello. Hope you're well. Champions of Europe and all that. Champione. Ole, ole, ole. So what, Angus? A win is a win and a trophy is beautiful. I love the fact as well that when they came out of the team hotel to get on the coach to go back, they took the trophy and let all the fans touch the trophy. It's such a lovely thing to do. It would have meant the world. There were so many kids there. It would have meant the world. Let's be real. What a way to win a trophy on your 100th game in charge of the club. That's a special number.
Yeah, it was his 100th game, wasn't it?
Was indeed. Look, I don't care if people think it was the worst trophy. I don't care about any of it. All I know is we won. We've got the silverware. We've got memories that will last a lifetime. And I'm going to enjoy this for many, many moons to come. But I did do a poll today just to see whether people had changed their opinions on Ange. 71% are now Ange in. 28% are now Ange out. Now,
look, there's going to be a few people there.
Jim, hang on a second. When I did this poll, if we win the Europa League, should he go? It was 60% wanted him out. So now 71% want him in. So how a night can change people's opinions. Go on.
I was going to say, sorry, Kate. I was going to say that there is going to be some people that are going to stick to their stance and want him gone. But I think if you really sit back and you really think about it, right, that it would be a travesty to sack him. I think it'd be a travesty, Kate. You know, when you're not sure the new manager is going to come in and take you forward, you know, you're going to have to me, sacking him and bringing in a new manager after winning this trophy is kind of going backwards for me, because he's got the foundations of everything here. He knows what the players are capable of, which ones are and which ones are not. You know, he set the foundation now with this trophy. And he said, if we'd have finished third, all right, it would have been nice, but what would it have meant for this club? They needed to get that monkey off their back. He's done that, and I think he's earned the right to take us forward.
Yeah. Fiona says, I'm still Ange out. I think we're all getting carried away with a win over the worst Man United I've ever seen. It's not just that, Fiona. It's the fact we got to a final. We won the final. I think that's disrespectful just to say that we're getting carried away because it's a bad Man United team. We had to get to the final, then we had to beat what was in front of us. And whether you think Man United are a terrible team or not, they have got some excellent players. The likes of Bruno, who I thought was we really silenced him last night. Maguire was good last night. Then you had the likes of Garnacho come on. They've got some good players and they've played some good games. So I think that's really a bit disingenuous to say that. And as someone just said, if we win, we can go up to 14th. But would you rather be sitting here third in the league and no trophy, or be sitting here potentially finishing 14th with the trophy? Because I know where I'd rather be all day long. I think football's dead if you sack a manager after winning a proper trophy. I do agree with what you said. Colin says, big up Colin, we're all behind Ange. We just wanted him to change, and it looks as if the penny has dropped. Exactly that.
What was the one before about a tattoo, Kate?
I took a dig at my mate Chris yesterday. 8 hours before the match, he got a tattoo done saying Spurs Europa League champions on his leg. I called him silly, as if we lose, you got that there like a pleb. I was wrong. Yeah, I promised to get an Ange tattoo, and it's coming. It's coming.
I think you're right, Corey boy. That's a massive gamble.
I was wrong last night. Was so special. Best night of my life. Carried away, yes, only achieved our highest achievement as a club, but yeah, carry on. I agree, Jacob, 100%. He's got my shirt on in that picture. Jacob, the most important thing is, mate, is that plane ticket in the car still, mate. I don't know what that means, but to be honest, if I was a Spurs fan, I'd hate when you're finished in the league, but proud you won the Europa League. Now you need to improve on the league next season. You'll never walk alone. And that's what I think Ange needs the time to see if he can do. And I agree with what Colin says here. The fans said Johnson was overpriced. Well, he has repaid every.
What did I say?
Now.
I said them exact words. Them exact words. You think he's too expensive now?
Exactly that. I thought I just love Johnson.
I've backed him all season. I love the guy. I think he's got a lot to learn. He has got a lot to learn, but he's kind of dragged us through this season with his goals, Kate. You know, I think he's been brilliant for us this season with his goal scoring alone. You know, he's got a lot to learn, but he's a young guy and he will learn and he wants to learn. You can see that.
I actually called that. I said he's going to bring Danso on for Johnson, and I don't know, but I called all the subs just before they happened.
All right. You did. And Bruno's on the telly crying.
Oh, diddums. The most important thing is Ange has got the dressing room. Once you have that, anything's possible. Johnson has started working harder off of the ball. Price went up to $900 for the flight, which was my remainder for the trip, so nearly impossible. What trip, Jacob? Was you going to come to the parade? What was that for? Johnson still needs to improve because after he scores a goal, he goes to the rest of the game. Well, they're paid to score goals. If he scores goals, that's what he's paid for.
I thought he worked extra hard yesterday.
He's doing some defensive work.
Yeah.
Inner Hype says, whilst everyone is on about Gyökeres, we should go get Conrad Harder from the same club, Franco Mastantuono from River Plate, and Jonathan David. I don't like Jonathan David. I don't want him anywhere near my club. I've been a supporter for 70 years, seen us win the lot, but watching that with my boys brought a tear to my eyes. Big up, Colin. It had me in tears. I'm not going to say brought a tear to my eye.
Longer than me, Colin.
Yeah. Brennan Johnson, the only footballer ever to be criticised for only scoring goals. Exactly that. This guy can't do anything right. I was trying to run naked in London during the parade. God almighty. I'd like to see Liam Delap at Spurs. I think he's on course to be going to Manchester United. The league begins, you play 38 games, try and win the league or get into Europe. We not only won a trophy, but we qualified for the Champions League. Our season's been better than Arsenal and City. 1,000,000% it has. 1,000,000%. Ticket was 1,200, now 2,000 since I'd have to leave today.
Do you know they asked Arteta who's had the better season, Spurs or Arsenal, and he said, "I don't compare teams."
Who said that?
Arteta.
Yeah, I cried a lot as well. Tears of joy. Wish Spurs moves the parade. What I would say, Jacob, is you know, I know you can't be there for the parade, but when you go to the stadium, which you will, and they do the tour, you'll be able to see the trophy in all its magnificent glory and the cabinets and stuff. And when you actually stand there and look at them, it is a sight to behold. And there'll be a nice, fresh, shiny new one in there for when you visit. Jared says, imagine Ange changes the mindset of the whole club with this trophy now. They don't have excuses. They have a foundation now to build from to get more trophies. History books will say 24-25 Europa Cup winners Tottenham Hotspur. Yes, they will. Mud FC says, we fucking did it. Come on. Yes, we bloody well did. Johnson might have scored the goal, but VDV won it for us. Yep, I agree. I think we should let him go now. Thanks for the trophy. We should end it in a nice way, get a new manager and build for next season. Listen, like I said, I see both sides. But Jimbo, he also congratulated Tottenham.
He did, yes, 100%. He did say that.
I heard, to be fair, I heard he congratulated Tottenham and then cried off camera. I wish I was Ange Postecoglou. But that's just a rumour. Evan Gessan from Nice or Jonathan Berghardt from Maine, then instead of Jonathan David. Transfers will come and go. At the minute, it's all about enjoying. But we're going to have to end it there because although I'm loving this stream and we've got a lot of people watching, which is wonderful, I have a show at 3 and I need to eat in between. But we are now 13 away from 2,000. 13! So please, if you haven't subscribed and you're watching, please hit the subscribe. I can't wait to get to 2,000. It's been a long time coming and we're going to hit 2 years old next month. It'd be nice if we get there before our 2nd year anniversary. I need to lock eyes with Ange and Sonny so my image can be in the subconscious and maybe in their dreams as a result of it. How the hell are you going to lock eyes with them, Jacob? It's going to be thousands upon thousands of people there, you banana. Funny, you should be a comedian, Kate. I know. So should Arteta, because every year he says he's going to win something and he don't. I think it's hilarious.
Well, he's come out and said in the same interview that they need to win something next year.
Oh, he said that last year. Am I right in thinking it's Bank Holiday Monday this week?
Yeah.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or is it next week?
No,
it's this week because the kids break up from school. Fishing out the mud. Thanks, guys. Great show. It's a massive extra special thank you to Moondog for the super chat, El Dante for the super chat, and Pepe as well for the super chat. We will be back tomorrow at 12:30 with our Premier League predictions for the final weekend of the Premier League season. If you've got nothing to do this afternoon, I am going to be on Judge Mo at 3 p.m. for an hour or so, and then on the Football Terrace at 6 p.m. I'm loving it. I'm going on just to show my face and go, yes, champions of Europe, Arsenal. You'll never think that.
The thing is, Kay, is that you go on all the shows when we lose as well. So you take all the flack. So you deserve to go on there when we win like this.
Yeah, so if you're at a loss, come and see us. But Jimbo, I'm going to let you end the show as only you can.
Well, I'm quite exhausted, right? And I don't think I need to pump everyone up. We're all pumped up. Look, we're European champions, right? If you're Ange out, just sit back and have a little think about it. You know, what he has done for this club, how he's transformed us overnight into losers to winners. You know, in 2 seasons, 5th. All right, we're 17th. But he's took us into Europe, into the Champions League and won us a trophy. If you really think about it, I think the man deserves to take us into next season. You know, I'm flip-flopping. I'm shameless. I don't care what people say about me. We are European champions. And Arsenal, you can't sing that. Come on, you Spurs.
No, we need the come on, you effing Spurs, Jimbo. One last time.
You fucking Spurs, European champions. Arsenal can't sing that. We can. I can't wait to play Arsenal at Tottenham's grounds. We can sing champions of Europe. You can't sing that.
Giving opinions with no regret, smashing the top bins like in the onion net. Talking the talk with Kate and Jim and walking the walk, just listen in. The perfect match, Kate and Jim, getting at it. Kate and Jim are gonna smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter, mixing transfer news, it's what you're after. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. Jimbo always keeps a positive spin while Kate's Mickey has a name dropping. Gets you out of the blue like Lenny, stop robbing, or she's just flip-flopping. Hell, this place is popping. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match.